Hey everybody, it's low carb and keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger bringing you the one and only keto without the crazy. I'm not sure when I'm going to publish this video, so if you are watching this before January 15th, 2024, check out the link in the notes to the Keto Made Simple online course. It is the best way to learn keto in a simple, uncomplicated, non-crazy way. If you are new to keto and you want to learn how to do it right straight from the start, or if you're not so new to keto, but you're floundering, you're not getting the results you want, and you feel overwhelmed and completely frustrated by all the craziness out there, Keto Made Simple. Check out the link in the notes. The enrollment closes January 15th. Now, if you're watching this on like the 16th or 17th and you want in on the course, send us an email us through that website. We might be able to squeak you in. But anyway, okay, on to the topic. If you've been watching my channel for a while, and if you have, thank you. And if you're brand new, hello, welcome to the channel. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I often say that the food is the easy part. Knowing what to eat and what not to eat is the easy, simple part. Actually doing it is where it gets difficult. That's where most of us run into trouble, like actually putting into practice the things we know we should do. And so here is a mindset tip that I hope is helpful. When things are not going well, and you get to define that for yourself, I'll talk about that in a second, but when things are not going well with regard to keto for you, talk to yourself like someone you love. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you really care about. So let's say when I say it's not going well, it could be that you're not losing the weight you want to lose. Or if you're trying to reverse your type 2 diabetes, maybe your blood sugar's not coming down the way you would like it to. Or if you have PCOS, maybe your cycle is, not really regulating yet. Whatever the issue is that you're looking to improve, if you're not getting there, many of us, myself included, I'm a card-carrying member, we are in the mental beatdown club, card carrying. We insult ourselves, we berate ourselves, we lob the most horrendous, horrific words at ourselves. I'm such a failure. I'll never figure this out. I keep screwing up. I'll always be heavy. Whatever it is, any number of things that we say to ourselves and that we've probably been saying to ourselves for years. When we're not doing so well with keto, we say things to ourselves that we would never say to somebody else. So think about how you would talk to, for example, let's say a child, your child maybe, who failed a test or who had some other thing not go so well. You probably wouldn't say, you wouldn't wag your finger and you're such a failure, you'll never figure math out, or you'll never get a job, you're such a screw up, we're so disappointed in you. I don't know your parenting style. I hope you wouldn't say that. I hope you would do something more like, oh my gosh, what happened? Did you need more time to study? Could we have helped you study in some way? Would it help you to get a tutor? Did you just not sleep well the night before? Like, gosh, what happened? And how can we help you and make sure this doesn't happen again? You would offer a lot more constructive feedback, and you would acknowledge the thing. You would say, oh gosh, you failed the test. How awful. Like, gosh, this isn't like you. Or, wow, this is such a surprise. Or I understand you must be feeling so bad. You would acknowledge their feelings and then pivot and say, what can we do about this? How can we help you? And then, so think when it comes to keto, let's focus more on the actual keto, right? If your best friend were doing keto and they came to you and they were kind of venting and saying, I just can't lose weight. It's not working. I keep screwing up. I do well for a day or half a day, and then I'm face first in the sugar, I'm face first in the starch. I don't think I'll ever figure this out. I feel like such a failure. Whatever it is. You, as this person's best friend, would probably not say, yeah, you really are screwing up. You probably never will get it. You kind of are a giant failure. You're such a piece of crap. You're such a this and that. You would never say that to your best friend, right? Instead, you would acknowledge their situation, acknowledge their pain, acknowledge their tension, whatever you want to call it, acknowledge their struggle. Gosh, I know, wow, I know you've been having such a hard time with weight, or, I know you've been working so hard at keto and it's really hard to stick to. You would acknowledge that, and you've been working so hard and it's not really working so well. Acknowledge that. And then you would probably say something like, how can I help? Is there something I can do to make this easier for you? Or maybe if you don't think you can help, you could say something like, have you been able to identify what specifically is getting in the way? Have you been able to identify any particular obstacles that you can change? Do you have the power to actually modify some things to make it easier for you to stick to keto? So that's the kind of thing that we want to say to ourselves. Instead of that beatdown, it's lobbing those verbal grenades right into our brains and our hearts. We could ask ourselves or say to ourselves, okay, I'm in this situation. You don't have to deny those feelings. You can say, I feel like such a screw up. I'm so ashamed of myself. I don't think I'll ever get this. Say that, but don't live there. Don't wallow there for 3 hours or 3 weeks or 3 days. Acknowledge. It's important to express those emotions, get them out, acknowledge them, and then do something about them. This is the part where you say something like, okay, this is where I'm at. What now? What next? What am I going to do about this? What is within my capacity to do something about? And maybe it's not even just you. Maybe you need help. Maybe you need to have an accountability partner, a friend, your spouse, something. And they don't even have to be eating keto. They just need to be willing to let you check in with them for you doing keto, right? Somebody doesn't have to eat the same way you do to support you and encourage you and be a cheerleader for you. Anyway, that's getting a little too far afield. I mostly just want to focus on this concept of the fact that that kind of mental beatdown is almost never helpful. If it has helped you to tell yourself what a failure you are and how ashamed you should be of yourself and how you're never going to get the results you want, everything's a failure, the world is ending, right? The sky is falling. If that helps you, then do it. I just haven't found it to be helpful that much. Because when you're in that beatdown, if you do feel like a failure, if you do feel like it's never going to work, then that's when you say, well, screw it, I might as well eat the chips. Screw it, I might as well go for the donuts. Versus, what can I do to really start getting some traction? Even something small. What tiny thing can I change to just start inching myself in the right direction? You don't have to change your whole keto world overnight, right? But that's really the key thing. Okay, here's where I'm at. What do I do now? And that could even be one tiny thing. It doesn't have to be radically alter my whole life and my whole diet. So let me see if there's anything else here before I close out. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Which approach do you think would be more helpful? Now, your answer to that might be, I don't know, because you've only ever tried the beatdown. You've only ever tried the negative self-loathing method. And if you are where you want to be, then great, that method has been working all along just fine. If you're not where you want to be, consider whether that method is roadblocking you. Because if you do feel like a failure, if you do feel so discouraged like that, why would you even continue to try? And I don't want you to give up, right? You can get there, but you're not going to get there talking to yourself like a you-know-what. Talking to yourself like a So, or insert whatever word you like there, but that just never works. It only makes you feel worse. And frankly, I've been there sometimes. It's a long time ago, but when you feel that way about yourself and you talk that way about yourself, what is the more likely result? And what is the result that I've gotten all those years ago? It wasn't, I'm going to stay on plan, I'm going to stick to this, and I'm going to really do it. No, when you feel terrible about yourself, you punish yourself. Whether you do it consciously or not, you do reach for the box of cookies. You do reach for the box of donuts. You do reach for the bagel with who knows what on it. We punish ourselves with food when we put ourselves in a position where we think we need to be punished. Great, that's going to help. That'll really get the weight off, right? That'll really get the blood sugar down. Punishing ourselves with sugar and starch. Great. So just something to think about, that I know that the beat down is more comfortable, that it's because we've been doing it for so long. That's what we're used to. If we have a toolbox and we're going to go reach for that's the tool we reach for first because it's the one we've used the most often and for the longest period of time. But that toolbox or tool shed, whatever, is loaded with other tools that we can use that might be more helpful. Right? That beatdown tool is a tool, but it's not getting the job done. It's not helping us get the job done, i.e., sticking with keto and doing well. Maybe we need to reach for a different tool. Maybe we could reach for that tool of self-compassion and empathy for ourselves and understanding and constructive reflection rather than, I can't stick to keto. This is so hard, blah, blah, blah. How about, how can I stick to keto? What can I change? What would need to be different in my life or my schedule or my household so that I could stick to keto? What needs to be different about my life, my schedule, my household so that it is more convenient or so that it's more fun, so that it's more likely that I will actually do this? That is so much more empowering and so much more, that's really the best word. It's positive and empowering rather than being beat down and left in a puddle on the floor. This kind of talk, reaching for this tool, builds you up and helps move you forward. Okay, that's it for now. Again, check out that Keto Made Simple course. If this is after January 15, 2024, and it's way after, so we might not squeak you in, just get on the wait list, because if you're on the wait list, we will notify you when the next round is open. However, we don't plan to offer Keto Made Simple again until the fall 2024. So get in while the getting's good, as they say. And until next time, keep the crazy out of your keto.